Dylan Raiola on the move. So, well, just I know Miles moved to Gainesville, but Dylan Raiola is moving all the way from Arizona to Georgia to play his senior year of high school ball. Is it Buford High School?
Yeah, it's Buford.
With KJ Bolden, who's a 5-star commit, currently committed to Georgia, on flip alert to Ohio State, I believe. And there's another 5-star there as well, I think. I mean, it's like the IMG of Georgia. I mean, with the talent pool that's there. And it interested me when I heard this because I'm like, man, this is just, it's one more step up. And look, Miles Graham, I didn't realize Miles moved to Gainesville, right? Like, there's a massive advantage there for Raiola, for Kirby, for the recruiting aspect, because you've got your right-hand guy, the leader of that recruiting class, there constantly. He'll be there every weekend. He'll be at every game. He'll be at all the practices watching. I mean, it's you're getting an inside track to this guy as soon as possible. Now, you can't do this for everybody, but it just shows the commitment from Dylan Raiola. And again, like, it feels like it's Kirby. And now I didn't realize Billy's doing it, which I love. Right? I think it's a chess move, right? I mean, it's how can I separate myself from the next person? And that's what people don't realize too. It's never a big move. It's a bunch of micro moves that equal up to a big one. And it's a micro move like this that's going to separate you from somebody else. Because look, Dylan Raiola probably won't play. We won't see this kid for 3 to 4 years, right? Because obviously he's got a senior year. He's not going to play his freshman year. Probably won't play his sophomore year. Honestly, just with the slew of talent they have. But come the junior year, if he stays in Georgia for all that time, that's a long time. Being next to Billy or being next to Kirby, seeing the process in Georgia, being part of that process, being just in it constantly over and over and over again. On our NFL show, we talked about with Anthony Richardson how he lacked that. He didn't have a lot of reps as a college quarterback or just going through the motions, which I think is going to impact him. Getting a little tangent here, on a side tangent here. But this is what's going to allow somebody like Raiola to have extreme success as soon as he hits the league. And I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more of this happen as the years go on, and probably this year, because I think this is going to really set things in motion. I might be looking too much into it, but I'm telling you, it's a small move like this that really, really gets the ball rolling there.
You go, Steve, if you have anything on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, Dylan Raiola just coming off of the Elite 11 quarterback camp where he just went out there and looked like a damn near polished college quarterback coming out without even having played a game. But look, it's just another kind of feather in the cap for something like for Kirby, who's already just slaying it on the recruiting trail. He's just been able to just reload instead of having to restock talent. He's just year after year after year, even when it feels like they may have, like last year, their defense was going to take a step back after all that talent got drafted. They're all still there. It just is a testament to the things that sometimes don't seem like a big deal, or maybe you don't even know, that are just continually build a foundation of success. And look, it would have never even crossed my mind to think that you would relocate a high school kid to be closer to the college so you can have more interaction and more direct, I guess, control over his training. But it just seems so obvious until when you hear it, right? But it's just it tells you why some of these coaches are heads and shoulders above some of the others, and you can't quite put your finger on why. This is where the why comes in. This is how and why some of these coaches are able to do that. Now, look, resources come into play as well, but this is just it's a great move on Kirby's part, and I think it's going to put Raiola into a position, even with the stockpile of talent they have at quarterback, where I don't believe any of these other quarterbacks did what Dylan just did, where he's been this exposed to the program. He could be a sophomore starter,
sure,
because nobody
100%.
Carson Beck's looked okay. Like, they were still kind of question marks on who their quarterback was going to be. This could very well propel Dylan Raiola, who I think is going to be easily the most naturally talented quarterback on the roster when he gets there, into a starting position sooner, where maybe this is something that Kirby looked at his current quarterback room and said, we got to do something different. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but you've got to be a fifth-year quarterback. You got to be in college for 6 years before you're ever good at quarterback at Georgia. I don't know what it is about Georgia quarterbacks, but you got to be like 30 years old before you're good. So maybe this is them seeing that we're not going to continue to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. this is an interesting move on Kirby's part. And I think actually, all things considered, with the level of talent that they got with Dylan Raiola, that it will likely show that it'll be a different outcome.
And KJ Bolden has not committed to Georgia. I apologize. I got him confused with Ellis Robinson, another 5. It's just 5-star galore over there. So
It's
my
hard to
apologies
keep 'em
for
up.
mixing up the 5 stars. I thought first. I don't know why I thought KJ Bolden
See,
committed to Georgia, but he's crystal ball there.
That's a good problem to have, mixing up like 5 stars.
Yeah,
Thinking,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. He's definitely gonna be playing tougher competition. I mean, Buford, they pump out talent. That's a very talent-rich school over there. I mean, he'll be playing with talent too. So I'm sure that they'll probably win a lot of games, especially with Dylan Raiola there. But he will be playing harder competition. So I mean, I'm kind of excited to see how he does against harder competition. But he will have better pieces around him too. So you got to kind of equal that out right there. But I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, it's a good move.
Opposite
and
of what Arch did. Right, Arch plays at a easy school. This guy goes to a harder school. You got to respect it.
Yeah. Total respect for it. And plus, like you said, the recruiting factor. I mean, it's Georgia. They're in Georgia, and you have your number 1 quarterback and the number 1 quarterback in the class coming to Georgia to come recruit. So I mean, it's a smart move. But I mean, I'm just curious to see how he does against harder competition, because now I want to see, because now I'm like, the Georgia fans are saying, oh well, he's better than so and so. Well, he's going to be playing harder competition. We'll see.